I feel like doing a manga intro, so I'm just doing this intro. So, you read the title of the video. This one, I don't have anything written down. I literally just have my tablet. I just have my tablet. I don't got anything written down. Hold on. This is probably going to be one of my worst videos ever made. That's okay. Literally, I just have my manga spreadsheet. You can't see it at all, but it's there. I have a manga spreadsheet, and I'm basically just going to show you how I rank my manga and the way I do it. So, let's get into it. So, what I want to talk about is in my Google spreadsheet, don't know if you can see it right here, I have my manga ranked 1 through 10. The black ones are the ones that are black just mean that I haven't ranked them yet because I haven't read them yet. So I ranked them from 1 to 10. And on the side, I wrote, well, what does that even mean? Like, 1 through 10, what does that even mean? Well, it's not actually 1 through 10, it's 0 through 10. Yeah, I have a 0. So I'm just going to go through the numbers, and then I'm going to tell every single series which ones are, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. You get what I mean. Let me actually... Before we start doing that, let me get the first volume for every single series that I have. Hold on. Volume 1 of Haikyuu. Volume 1 of One Piece. Volume 1 of Alice in Borderland. Volume 1 of Blue Period. Volume 1 Beastars. Hold on. On the ground for now. Volume 1 Promised Neverland. Perfect World, my first only volume. This is gonna get tiring real quick. Second pile. I'm doing this for you, by the way. I'm doing this for you. Alright? So you better be grateful. Let me close the door, hold on. Okay. Man. I'm almost done, don't worry about it. I have volume 1 for every single series that I have, except for those over there, because of the series I haven't read, plus all the manga I have right there. Spoiler alert, there's going to be a huge manga haul in the future. I have a bunch of manga over there that is going to be a manga haul. I haven't opened it up or read it yet. I'm on my final straw. I'm ready to open it. So let me share with you what I have here. So... it's basically the key. So, at rank 0, we have insulting. So if I rank something 0, it means this is terrible in every single way. Then I have not 1, which is awful. I have 2, which is bad. 3 is boring. 4 is inconsistent. 5 is fine, so average. 6 is good. 7 is great. 8 is amazing. 9 is almost perfect. And 10 is masterpiece. I only have 4 manga that are at 10, so 4 masterpieces. Well, let's just, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, most of the series here are 7 out of 10s, which doesn't mean average, that means it's great. It's a great series that you should read, okay? Something that's 5 or below, that means it's fine or bad. And I only have 2 series that are fine or bad. So let's go on. Let's do the worst series first, and let's go up to the best. So my least favorite series, also known. Hold on. So it's these two. So my least favorite series is Shaman King, apparently to this thing. But I don't actually have the first volume of Shaman King because I sold it. Because I read the first volume. I had like volumes like 1 through 9 and 11 of the singles, and I sold them because I wanted to get the omnibuses. Because I mean, it's really hard to find the singles, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a series that is like okay to me. I know I'm probably gonna like it in the future, so I wanted to get the bundles first, or the big guys. So my second least favorite, at least compared to here, is Kaiju number 8, ranked as a 5. Or a 5.4 out of 10. That's how I can include how what series is better, what series is not. I should probably say Kaiju number 8 is not bad. It is good in my standards. I've only read the first volume. That's probably why. I think it's a 5 out of 10. The thing about Kaiju number 8 is it has some really good points, but they kind of like just throw that away. Like one of my favorite things about this one was the main character, and that he was like 35 years old. You know what I mean? And and he was like this old washed up guy who like he thought he couldn't do it anymore, and that was great. And then they kind of like mention it for 2 chapters and then leave it at there. Like they don't really do anything else about it. And then he turns into a kaiju, and it's a fast-paced shonen that feels like a shonen. And I get it's supposed to be a comedy. I just didn't laugh. But the art is really cool. The action is really cool. I really like the characters in the story, even though if they're a bit one note, especially the girl who's like really, really skilled. Forgot her name. Yeah, Kaiju number 8 is a 4.5 out of 10. Next, we have Komi Can't Communicate. Hold on. Komi Can't Communicate. We have volume 1 here. I put Komi Can't Communicate as a 6.3 out of 10. So that means this series, if it's a 6, it's good. Actually, let me do all the series I put at a 6 out of 10. So I put 2 series at a 6 out of 10, which was Komi Can't Communicate and Sakamoto Days. I put both of these 2 as a 6 out of 10. And the reason for that is they're comedies, but I didn't laugh. This one's just really wholesome, and this one has amazing art, and the guy's pretty badass. So that's really the big reason why they're, I guess, so low. Yeah, Komi Can't Communicate, 6 out of 10. Sakamoto Days, 6 out of 10. If you're wondering, I ranked Sakamoto Days better than Komi Can't Communicate because I actually don't know why. I think this one is a little bit funnier than this one. I think this one's just a bit funnier. And it has just really amazing art. Like, surprisingly good art. Like, it's crazy. And the action scenes are really cool, and the characters are super unique. That's really good and all. But there's not much of a story. And it's also, I just didn't find it very funny. I mean, I found it endearing and charming and wholesome. But it just wasn't very funny to me. So that's why it's so low. Alright, let me actually put these back because I did the 5 out of 10 and I did the 6 out of 10. So give me a second. Like I said, this is going to be the worst video I've ever done. So strap yourselves in. You still watching? You're still here? That's crazy. Probably should have time-lapsed it. You know what I mean? Like, I probably just should have time-lapsed the actual me picking out the volumes. I probably wouldn't have, like, just knowing me as an editor, I probably wouldn't have, because I don't edit my videos, like, in the slightest. Like, most of my editing is just cutting the video sometimes. Like now, editing me, please cut the video right now so all these I probably won't do that for comedy. Or because I'm lazy. Alright. Hold on. I need the thing closed. Hold on. Alright. Now for all the 7 out of 10 series. So it's 16 through 23. Okay, yeah, it's 16 through 23. Doesn't matter. Oh. 16 through 23. Hold on, how do I like copy? Oh my god, I'm hopeless. Alright, whatever. So, at my least favorite to most favorite 7 out of 10, we have. So, my least favorite 7 out of 10 is Food Wars, Shokugeki no Soma. Next is Soul Eater. So, Food Wars here, it's kind of average everywhere, except for the writing is kind of okay. I mean, it's average everywhere. I've only read the first 2 volumes, as you can see. But I really like Soma, like as the main character. And I really like the character designs. But everything else is average, really. Oh, and the food looks really good. So it's a 7 out of 10, so it's a great manga. Next I have Soul Eater, Volume 1. I've only read the first volume. I have the... No, I don't actually have the second volume. I do not. I do not have the second volume. But the first half was really boring, like without Frankenstein, and then the part where the zombie comes out, and then they have the fight with Frankenstein. Obviously, spoilers for Soul Eater. Amazing. It was just amazing. It could have been an 8 out of 10, but you kind of effed it up there. So from the first half. So after Soul Eater goes Black Clover. Black Clover is the next series. I really liked it. I heard it gets better at Volume 8. I have Volumes 1 through 6. I've also read only Volumes 1 through 6. So the art is pretty great. When I say I really like Asta, I mean like he's a good protagonist. And what was it? I forgot his name. The U guy? I don't know his name. It just has really great world building and really great power systems, like the magic power systems and stuff like that. So I think that's really why I really like it. Really? You got a vacuum at a time like this? Okay, whatever. That's not my problem. Nor my concern. Next is Spy Family. Spy X Family, whatever you want to call it. Basically, same thing as Sakamoto Days, but just a lot better. Like, it's a great, wholesome series with good art and great action. I just didn't find it all that funny. But I think Anya is cute, so it's up here in 7 out of 10s. Alright, next. You've heard me talk about it a lot. Demon Slayer, yay! Demon Slayer, whee! Yeah, it's a 7 out of 10. Really great moments. Some really bad moments. I'm kind of mixed on it. It could be a 6 out of 10. It could be a 5 out of 10. But I put it here at a 7 out of 10 because I don't think it's amazing. But I don't think it's that great. But I also don't think it's like... I think it's better than good, though. So I would put it at a 7 out of 10. Next series. I've also completed it, and I've read to it fully. Next series. A School Frozen in Time. This is all 7 out of 10s. I should probably mention that. These are all 7 out of 10s. Until we get to one certain series. Wait. Okay, no. Sorry. I thought one series was a 7 out of 10. I'm like, that's a 7 out of 10. That should be higher. School Frozen in Time. I really liked it. It's a great mystery kind of story with some pretty great characters. I just find the character interactions to be a bit boring. it's like there's like two separate sides, and it's kind of like a video game where they just have select dialogue that they have to say, you know what I mean? And it's a really great mystery series with different characters. They just don't bounce off each other that well, which kind of ruins the experience, for me at least. So, it's a 7 out of 10. As you can tell, characters are my favorite part of a story. Next, we have Zom 100, also a 7 out of 10. It's basically a zombie series that's actually funny. Like, I actually found this series very funny, and I laughed a couple times. But, okay, how do I explain this? It's really great. It's really great. It's a great manga. I would put it at an 8 out of 10. I really would. I think it's actually better than the series I put it in front of. But I think that's because the last few volumes I read really stepped it up a notch. So I'm going to raise it up a bit when, oh my god, look at the background. Look at all the manga. But the series is great. I would just say the characters, they start off a bit one note, and the story isn't all that great. It's kind of like they just, you know, they just go from plot point to plot point. Plot point. There isn't really an overarching story. But Psalm 100 is great. I loved it. I think it's actually amazing, though. I think I would put it at an 8 out of 10. So, it's also the second highest. What did I put it at? Sorry. I put it at a 7.61. I thought it was a tiny bit better than A School Frozen in Time. Alright, the final 7 out of 10 is Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is the final 7 out of 10 that I've ever seen. And just remember, this means it's a great series. I'm only on volume 5, in like the middle of volume 5. I would just say the action is not good. That's it. The action isn't good. There's too many characters. Like, when all those characters were dying, I couldn't care less. I didn't even know all their names. I didn't even know any of their names. So, because of that, I don't care that much. I just didn't care about the characters. I think they just wanted me to care. I just didn't, though. But all of that, everything was great. I loved it. So, it's a great series that you should read. Alright, now we get to the 8 out of 10s. First 8 out of 10, Kaguya-sama Love's War. This is also my 15th favorite series, Kaguya-sama Love's War. I know I said I recommend it to people, you know, who, you know, like, whatever, like, you know, starting manga, you know, said I recommended it, and I do. I think the only problem I have, I didn't find it all that funny. I really didn't. It's funny, don't get me wrong. I think it was just because of my expectations. You really gotta be vacuuming at this time point. Really. You really gotta be vacuuming. You might not even be hearing the vacuum right now, and I might just be going crazy. Or you do, and it's getting really, really annoying. So, because, oh my god, stop. Please. I can't think straight. I can't. Stop. I'm going insane. Finally, a normal day. Cheers. I really shouldn't be drinking Diet Dr. Pepper in a room full of manga. So, like I was saying, I just didn't find all that funny. I really like the characters. And it's kind of, and they stay in line with their characters, which I really, really like. But, I don't know how to say this. It's really just, it's great. But there's just series that are better than it. There are just a bunch of series that I think are better than it, and that's why it's this low. That's really the only reason, right? Alright, after Kaguya-sama, next is Blue Lock. I literally just did a video on it. Go watch it. I'm not explaining why I like this series. It's an 8 out of 10. I'm not explaining why I like it. I should have put the manga back. Whatever. I'll do it later. It's not your problem, not nor your concern. Alright, number 13, and Blue Lock is number 14. Number 13 is Dr. Stone. I haven't really explained why I like this series so much, nor do I know why. I have no clue why I like it so much. It's just about science, and it's awesome. Like, as a guy who personally just doesn't like science in general, like in school, I love this series. And I love, oh my god, I love the science aspects in it. And I just didn't like science in school. I don't know why I like the series so much. It's just an amazing series. There's almost no flaws in it. The art is great. The characters are great. I really like the character designs, and oh my... Look at this panel I just found. Like, that actually just made me laugh out loud. I think it was just so funny just seeing it. Just so, just so serious. God. I just love Dr. Stone. Amazing characters, amazing plot, great villain. I really like the dialogue. I really like the writing. I like the main character. I forgot his name. I like how he has like certain things he says. Different characters have like different catchphrases. Chrome says like, or Chrome, whatever he says. Okay, we gotta solve this fate. It's Chrome. It's not Chrome. All right. In the manga, it has an E at the end of his name, which means it's Chrome. Okay. If you go to Super Smash Brothers and you go to the select stream and you see Chrome, there's no E at the end, so it's Chrome. His name is Chrome, not Chrome. So I had to get that off my chest. So when Chrome, he'll always say like that's bad, you know what I mean? Like he'll just saying something that's bad, and then the main character will be like get excited or I'm 1,000,000% sure, I'm 1,000,000,000% sure, you know what I mean? And they have just different little tiny things that they say. Like Suka, she'll like talk in the third person, and different characters will say different things, and it's just it's a great series. There's no like thought-provoking, beautiful, like some of the other series here, but there's no like real message you're gonna learn from it. It's just an entertaining series from start to finish that I just can't get enough of. Alright, next, Death Note. Death Note, I got the Black Edition Volume 1. I've only read the first volume. I have the second volume, but I've only read the first. It kind of reminds me of Monster a bit. Just the character designs, at least. They look very real. Except for, obviously, freaking Shinigami. Or whatever it's called. The freaking death demon. But, hold on. Whatever. But it's basically, what other series was it? It was basically School Frozen in Time, but on steroids. It's insane. The two characters, L and Late, are very smart. They have some of the weirdest decisions I've ever seen, but they pay off somehow. I just don't understand the series at all, and I think that's why I love it. So, yeah, it's Death Note is number 12. Oh, so we're about to get into my top 10. So, just creeping out the top 10, who almost got there, who's also, oh wait, no. So, it's an 8 out of 10, and everything in the top 10 to up is either a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. I should explain that. So, it's either almost a masterpiece or a masterpiece. So, Monster is number 11. God, I love Monster. I think it's just the main character and the main antagonist. And, oh my god, it's a great story. I think it's just because the main antagonist is crazy. Dr. Kenma is like a believable person. I think every character in this story is believable. Like, you would see these characters in real, except for the antagonist. Like, he's just some psychopath, But every other character in this series that you could see in person. Like, you could just find them on the street in, like, New York or something. You know what I mean? Like, all these characters do exactly what you would think they would do. And they're believable, and you care for them. That is what, hold on, what series was it? That's what Attack on Titan wanted. Attack on Titan wanted me to care for these characters. Monster made me care for the characters that died. Especially that old guy who was like, oh, you know, hopefully my wife will come back if I, you know, do this and do that. That was actually sad when he died. Because I wanted to see him have a happy ending. Spoilers for Monster, sorry. I wanted to see him have a happy ending and, you know, have a happy life and all that other stuff, but it's not really spoilers. He's a very, very minor character. Johan's an amazing character. Kenma's an amazing character. It's just, and it is one of those thought-provoking series that you really gotta read time and time again and think about. You know what I mean? It's so good. I couldn't stop reading it. Like, it was one of those series that once I picked up, I just couldn't put down. Like, I just didn't. Like, I was literally letting my food get cold while eating dinner, just reading this series. And I was like awake until like 12 a.m. just reading. Alright, next series. And in the top 10, also number 10, Full Metal Alchemist. I'm not going to talk very much about Full Metal Alchemist. This video is getting too long. What are we at? 26 minutes? Holy shit. Yeah, this is getting too long. It's a really good series. Read it. Some great plot points, very emotional moments. The characters are always extremely likable. Great series. Read it. Alright, next series. Perfect World. I'm pretty sure this is a shoujo manga or a woman's manga, whatever you want to call it. It's really good. It really makes you think, like our lives are so much different from people who have disabilities. And it's like, you never really think about, like, how those people, I'm not saying, like, they're a different species, you know? But, like, you never really think about, like, how someone in a wheelchair, like, just their daily life, and it really goes into that. And it's a great series. Made me cry. Awesome. That was number 9. Number 8 is The Promised Neverland. It's basically, I think I like this more than Death Note. I think this is better Death Note. I actually like this more than Death Note because of how many precautions I have to go to in trying to, you know, escape the area, which is just great. It's amazing. It's almost perfect. I think the only thing that isn't perfect, actually, it's basically perfect. I just don't think it's a 10 out of 10. There's like slight nitpicks, obviously. It's like the art isn't, you know, the 100% best of best, you know. It gets a tiny bit boring at certain parts, you know. Some characters have a bit of plot armor, and you really just don't know how some characters are thinking, which I already went to it. I already went into it in my other series, or I already went to my other video, so you just read that. Alright, now we getting into my manga almost got destroyed. Alright, we're getting into the other series. At number 7, we have Beastars. It's amazing. It's super realistic, surprisingly realistic for this kind of manga. And it's really amazing. It's like almost perfect. What else do you want me to say? I'm not gonna. If you really want an in-depth video, go somewhere else in YouTube. I'm not gonna go talk. Or just read the manga yourself. Alright. What's next? Number 6, Your Lie in April. I already did an in-depth video on this, I already made a video on this. Just watch that video. I'm not gonna explain it. We're going too long. I'm not making this a 30-minute video, even though it's already hit 30 minutes. It's really funny. It's funny, but it's also really sad. The characters are amazing. It's just a beautiful story through and through. All right, next, and it's our first 10 out of 10. That 10 out of 10 is Blue Period. Wow, this story is just absolutely amazing. I'm going to do a video on this. Trust me, I'm doing a video on Blue Period. I don't care how shit it is. I'm doing a video on Blue Period. Okay? It's just a beautiful series. And it really just, it's so realistic. And you can relate to any character in this story. Any character you can relate to. Oh my god, it's just a masterpiece. Alright, next masterpiece. Alice in Borderland. I heard some people were having issues with it, with like printing or something like that. The printing was pretty bad. I didn't have issues with that. It was pretty good for me. But that has no it has no issue. It doesn't involve the actual manga itself. Just because it has bad publishers does not mean this manga is bad in the slightest. It is a masterpiece. There is no problems with it. The art, I think, is great. I love the art. I love the characters. I love the way the characters are presented. They're very relatable and they're very cool. Manga made me cry. Go get it. Oh, also Blue Period made me cry. So, my second favorite manga, One Piece. I made 2 videos on this, cried 3 times. Actually, 4 times I've cried. Cried 4 different times at One Piece. Just read it. If you want to know more about One Piece, watch the 2 videos I made on it. And then go get it for yourself. Just buy the first box set, or just buy the first, 10 volumes? Go do that. I recommend the box set because it's a bit cheaper, but whatever. So, we have our favorite series of all time. All of our favorite series of all time. Haikyuu. Oh my god, I love this series. I'm going to do a video on this. I'm going to do an hour-long video on why I love Haikyuu. There's just so many different things. In the first volume, there's a lesson you can learn. In the first 2... it's the first 2 volumes. There's a lesson you can learn from Kageyama. And a beautiful story in the first volume. Well, really the first 2 volumes. But in the first 2 volumes, there's a brilliant story that you can just take and put it in your own manga. And it would be good. Can you just believe that for a second? Just think of that. There's so many different themes and different characters and different this and that and this and that. Oh my god, it's amazing. I'm not talking about it anymore. It's amazing. I'm gonna do a video on it. I'm wasting valuable content, okay? I'm wasting valuable content. I'm also gonna do video on this. Here's a little sneak peek. Yeah, I used to collect comic books. So, actually hold on. I used to collect Flash. Isn't that crazy? I'm gonna do a video on this. And to show off all my comic books. Before I collected manga, I collected comic books, which were a lot cheaper, but also a lot more expensive. Like, this box is full of comic books. I keep trying to say manga, but comic books. I have 2 of those boxes. So that's a little sneak peek to the next video. That's really all I just wanted to talk about for the Excel spreadsheet. Just wanted to go over every single manga and just play some where I just wanted to get a little review. Also, I didn't really have many ideas for videos today, so I was just like, oh, whatever, I'll do this. So, I almost fell. So, remember, if you like the video, If you want to subscribe, do it. Subscribe. I don't care. Do all the shit the other YouTubers tell you to do, but on my videos. Oh yeah, comment down below and stuff, whatever. So, in conclusion,